everyone, it's Jessica Jarabek coming to you from Vancouver Island, where we honor our Esquimalt and Coast Salish peoples here on this beautiful land. I'm currently enrolled in the PIDP3230 program at the Vancouver College, and I want to talk to you today about an informal assessment strategy that you can try on in your own classroom called the Memory Matrix.
I have prepared a short video about the Memory Matrix classroom assessment technique. I will be discussing what a memory matrix is, when to use it, its advantages and limitations, and some strategies to use this technique effectively, and how the feedback will be provided to the learners. A memory matrix is a table with only row and column headings provided. The instructor provides the memory matrix to the learners and has them fill in the responses for the blank cells. For example, this memory matrix assesses students' understanding of medical terminology related to directions. On the left, some directional terms are provided. At the column headings, the instructor asks the students to describe the term and also provide an example. As you can see, the memory matrix requires learners to recall important course content and also organize that information based on its relationship with the headings. To use this technique, the instructor first needs to create a memory matrix with column and row headings. The instructor should also create an answer key using terminology that aligns with the learning outcomes and what was taught in class. When the instructor is satisfied that all of the information fits well into the completed matrix, they should provide copies of the blank matrix to the students and give instructions for the learners. It may be helpful for the instructor to provide guidance on how much information should be written in each cell and set a reasonable time limit. The learners submit their completed matrix and the instructor assesses their responses for the correctness and completeness, carefully analyzing all of the results, and these results may reveal areas that require some reteaching or show some misalignment in the course content and instructional delivery. Memory matrix is a best suited assessment technique to assess students' recall and basic understanding in courses with lots of informational content, just like massage therapy. It's also useful for solidifying knowledge of keywords. The memory matrix can also be used for individual groups or class assessment and can have many different variations. The memory matrix can also be used as a pre-assessment or post-assessment for learners. One of the advantages of the memory matrix is that it requires only moderate levels of time and energy for the instructor to prepare and then analyze. Students will have to expend a low amount of time and energy to use this assessment when completed. This memory matrix is easy to read and it can be assessed quickly and also serves as a useful study tool for students, especially for those who are strong visual or hands-on learners. And finally, it helps students manage, organize, and learn large amounts of information. However, the memory matrix is not without its limitations. When the instructor provides a matrix with row 1 column headings, the students are unable to use their own method of categorizing. And because of this simple presentation, the matrix may make complex and dynamic situations and topics seem static. It also doesn't allow the instructor any way of knowing which responses came from pre-existing knowledge and what information was learned in class. To successfully use the memory matrix assessment technique, a best practice for the instructor should introduce the students simply and start simple, clear, with only 2 or 3 rows of columns. Some information may not fit but the instructor might need to clarify the information if it overlaps in the cell. The instructor should also emphasize to students that this technique simplifies information. Technique provides immediate feedback to the learners on how well they have learned the specific context or information and where their knowledge gaps may be, but the instructor must also provide feedback to maximize the positive impact for the assessment. The instructors must tell or advise the learners what the assessment results were, noting the common errors, acknowledgements of successes, in knowledge of the topic, and how the results were interpreted, and then what the instructor intends to do in response. If the instructors recognize some knowledge gaps that are common, they might want to go back and reteach the concept again to include the learners in the feedback loop. Instructors might also want to ask the students what they found difficult or easier about completing the matrix. The instructor should also provide individual feedback to each of the learners who had difficulty with a topic or a specific assessment. It might actually also be helpful for the instructor to use the same matrix to reassess the knowledge after they have retaught a lesson. Students want to be motivated and they want to continue to participate in classroom assessment techniques if they see that the assessment can really make a difference in their learning and clarify some more difficult topics, and they will enjoy the instructor's teaching even that much more.